New Zealand has a past filled with people who thought she'll be right, when more often than not, it wasn't. Join me as we celebrate these true stories of the history that history tried to forget. In 1931, with the Depression looming, young fashion model Esther James decides to promote local industry by going for a walk. Wearing only New Zealand-made clothes and shoes and eating only New Zealand food, such as butter, bacon, cheese, eggs, fruit, honey, milk, meat and sweets, she sets off to walk the length of New Zealand. On one of her days off, she climbs Mount Taranaki. Impressive? Not really. Even a kitten could do it. This kitten, actually. This is Ginger. She lived at the Mount Taranaki hostel and used to follow people up the mountain. Once, Ginger climbed all the way to the top. When she got home, she was presented with a silver medal and a new collar to hang it on, and probably some milk. No doubt of the same kind that was fueling Esther James. As she walked all of the way from Cape Reinga in the north to Bluff in the south, some 2,500 kilometres. And she did it in 197 days. And not content with that, she then walked all the way across Stewart Island. It was no mean feat, Lisa.
But it would have been very mean on her feet.
It would have been. It's a phenomenal distance, but one that you are pretty familiar with.
I've done the same trek, but in reverse, from Bluff up to Cape Reinga, 42 days, slightly faster than Esther, but I had a lot more support than she did.
You think that Esther may have had that moment where she went, why am I here? Where did that moment come for you?
For me, it was at Bluff.
But that's where you started.
Exactly. It was like an elephant sitting on my chest when I realised that I was looking down the barrel of 2,000 plus kilometres. And I'm sure for Esther there would have been moments along the way, if not already at the beginning, where she went, oh crikey, what have I got myself into? But when you've set yourself a task and you've told everybody you're doing it, you're sort of committed, you know, there's no way out but through. So I'm sure Esther would have had many of those moments.
But the thing is, you should never have been running in the first place. You're not really physically built for it.
No, not built for it, no. I'm an asthmatic and I broke my back when I was 21 and I've never had any ability. So, you know, you find ways around obstacles and you...
Some people would have thought that the way around that obstacle would have been not running.
But I love adventure and I love to be able to push my limits and find out who I am in the most extreme circumstances.
When you think about it, it's not just getting a blister or pulling a hammy, is it? It can get a little bit more extreme.
Hypothermia, heat stroke, ripped hamstrings, ripped muscles, broken arms, broken ankles, you name it, I've pretty much had it.
But it's even more than that. I mean, there's dysentery. There was Death Valley, your stomach. Sort of stopped.
Often when you're doing super long races like Death Valley, the heat was incredible and we were running 217 kilometres through 55 plus degrees. So it's very, very hard to get anything digestion wise through your stomach without vomiting it up, putting it bluntly. And when you don't eat, of course you run out of energy and then you pass out and fall over and then you have hallucinations. And one of my favourite hallucinations, if you like, or the most common, is I see giant penguins for some reason.
Do they speak to you?
Yes, they're always cheering me on with their little flippers, yeah.
Esther James' extreme strolling never led her to hallucinate, but it was still an incredible feat of endurance. Of course, the irony for Esther is that having walked 2,500 kilometres, she actually put on 13 kilos. I imagine it was all of the bacon, butter, cheese, eggs, fruit, honey, milk, meat and sweets she was promoting. Still, it's a lot safer than going up in a balloon in 1899.